welcome to my channel. Today I want to do a reading for Pluto moving out of Capricorn. So this is actually extremely significant. I didn't realize how dramatic this shift would be on the spiritual level. Like, I've actually never experienced such a huge shift happening on this energy level of the spirit. Over the past days, I've just been feeling as if the ground is opening. It's like all of these graves are opening and the energy is coming out. The energy of the deep earth, the dark earth, the dead, the energy of the dead is rising and it's coming into our energy bodies so that we can help it to transform and transmute into higher realms. So if you're feeling challenged right now, definitely ask for guidance, call in your higher self, call in your higher guides. If you're not feeling challenged that right now, it may just mean that you are not really that connected to this earth at this point in time. This is the case for a lot of people. Not a lot of people are grounded to the level of earth at this point in time, and so you might not feel these energies yet. So it doesn't really matter where you are, just take it as it is. Probably this video is going to be more for those that are connected to the earth and are connected to the realms of spirit. There is a few things that I want to share about Pluto moving out of Capricorn. First of all, Pluto is going to go retrograde, so we are going to get to feel these energies again. Pluto is going to go back to 27 degrees of Capricorn. I think he begins his retrograde sometime in June. And so definitely we will get more of this. But what this time is really about is that we are meant to find our truth right now. This is a powerful time of letting go of old bonds. So if you think about yourself, if you think back throughout your life, how much of the person that you currently are, how much of that has been a chosen, conscious act of creation? You know, for me, and I think for most people, we have not at all been in our free will when it comes to creating who we have become. A lot of it is based on, in a sense, bondage. A lot of it is almost like a lot of how we feel ourselves are echoes of past timelines when we have been in a position of non-authority and people have put a label onto us based on how they saw us. And as a result, we may have taken on that label, the feeling that comes with that label, and in a sense, the destiny that comes with that label, and we became trapped within it. And so that is so common. And that is why this time is so huge, because now, like I said, when all of these kind of graves open and all of these souls and these dense and dark energies of the earth, the unconscious earth, is kind of being called back. You know, it's almost like it's being recycled. It's being called back to heaven, if you will, or it's being restored. When that happens, there is so much potential for us to liberate ourselves, but we have to be aware. If we're not aware at this point in time, we're not going to see it. We're not going to understand that what we are feeling is not necessarily us. We're just not going to catch it until we have started to create another cycle. And so that's what I'm feeling. The most important thing right now for those of you that are willing to invest into your spiritual work is to really do that. Like, really spend this time to become aware, be very careful with the feelings that you create from. If you're feeling very burdened by dark feelings, I would say create art or something that can help you gather more understanding of it. If not, you know, let it burn out, because then that karma is not going to be put on your shoulders. So it's a little bit of a heavy time. I realize that this may come across like very sinister and like boom, but that is also the energy of Pluto. It's not joking around, and I was actually surprised by how wow, it's like oh my god, this energy was. So okay, let's pull some cards as well. I think this time really calls for the shaman deck. So let's see what the shaman has to offer today. Oh, I love this. Smoky mirror coming out in reverse. It means that actually a lot of you are now, it's almost like you're coming out from the veil. Also underneath the deck was the circle. Wow, and another card of coming out of, in a sense, corruption and being fake. Coyote in reverse. Behind there was also the curse. Wow. You see how this person is not allowed to speak? You know, he did not. I feel like this is so important right now. It's like so much of who we are essentially is not even connected to our higher self. You know, when we experience those situations that I spoke about, when someone puts a label onto us, like an authority, a perceived authority, and this can be like parents, it can be siblings, it can be teachers, it can be an adult when you're a child, it can be an employer, you know, it can be the government, you know, it can be whatever that sees themselves as in a position of authority and comes across you and kind of labels you, put you in a box. And when that box falls onto you, what it does is that it cuts you off from your ability to raise your voice. That box was not a box that was chosen by you. It was not a box that was chosen by your higher self. It was put onto you. And so it disconnects you from your throat chakra, from your ability to speak truth and your ability to kind of receive truth, receive guidance. And so that's what I think so many of us have struggled with throughout our lives, like having a very hard time to break through that box of getting to a place where we feel comfortable speaking our truth, comfortable being ourselves. You know, we may not even know who we are. We may not even have that connection to our true selves, you know, to our higher selves, because of all of these boxes and roles and all of this bondage, these curses that have been put onto us. So that's why, you know, this time is so powerful. With the smoky mirror in reverse, it's like that veil. That veil is, let's just say, is shifting, because now it's coming up into us. And so again, awareness is so key right now. Now is not the time to be driven. You know, this is also the year of the Chariot, and the Chariot is about driving ourselves. You know, it is about being in control, choosing what forces drives us forward. You know, not being driven by this random feeling or random force that we don't really know. So that is definitely also so important, I feel, with these cards. It's the time to start to know ourselves, to know our shadow, to know all of these bonds or roles or boxes that were put onto us, and start to see them for what they are. So, wow, such a powerful energy. Another challenge with this time, though, for some of you, I feel that once you start to realize that a lot of your teachers, in a sense, or authorities, the people that you may have looked up to, once you start to realize that these people, you know, aren't able necessarily to guide you in the way that you need to be guided, that can create some kind of shakiness within us. You know, it can makes us feel very vulnerable and scared, and a lot of fear may come up because we may not trust our own intuition yet at this point in time. So I feel like if that is the case, definitely something here with the circle, with, you know, the importance of connecting to the earth, and particularly I feel this grandmother spirit within the earth, you know, the crone energy, connecting to that. That is a stable force. It's a little bit of a darker energy. You know, it's not like a very high vibe energy. It's a little bit dark, but it's very stable and it's very protective. It can help you to feel more protected. So I would say that if you feel this feeling of unsettledness, of like the ground is starting to move under your feet a little bit, then definitely maybe the grandmother spirit may help you connecting to that, asking it to come into your presence, and help you to connect more deeply with your higher self. I'm getting that for some of you. You know, also the importance of building a circle, you know, learning how to create a protective field around ourselves. But again, that may be just a little bit advanced. It really depends where you are on your spiritual journey. That's what I'm feeling. Anything else there? Nine of fire underneath the deck. So this is 9 of wands. And then behind there was also 9 of pentacles. So, wow. So it's like reaching a point. We're reaching a point of individuation. That's what we're trying to do. It's like a time of learning how to stand on our own. Becoming energetic masters in a way. Learning how to do energy work. You know, so wherever you are on that journey, I feel like it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or if you're advanced. I feel like this time you have the potential to learn so much, so many new things, because the world is changing on an energetic level so dramatically. It's like so dramatic, the changes that are happening now. And so what we may have known in the past, the things that may have worked for us in the past, they may not work anymore. And so that's also something to those of you, if you feel like you're new to the spiritual path a little bit, this is a great time to be new, because all of us are gonna be new in a sense right now because of all of the changes. So yeah, cards coming out was the Queen of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is really that card of having so much potential. You know, there are so many different cups, and it's up to us to really choose what cup we want to invest into. What feelings do we want to build our lives from? So I definitely feel like with the Queen of Pentacles, the importance of knowing your worth. When we are put in these boxes, they do not come with worth a lot of the time. You know, someone else puts us in a box. Either they put us on top of that box, like on a pedestal, and they say, you're worthy because of this or this. But that worth that was given to us still was based on the limitations of their mind. You know what I mean? And so that worth isn't unconditional. It's limited. It's based on their mind, someone else's mind. It's like you becoming a product of someone else's mind. And so that's why this, you may feel like you just want to like rip off all your clothes kind of in an energetic way, and just be like naked and born again, like, you know, like in the Star card, just like I'm nothing. I'm just gonna start fresh. I'm just gonna start from the rock bottom, from the 0 point, and see if I can build myself up again. And I think that is exactly what these energies are actually calling for. You know, there's a lot of people talking about that reset. And I see it more in an energetic way, you know, the way that the energy world works, it really also influences particularly the economy. You know, they are very closely linked. But I see these changes happening on the energetic level that, like I've spoken about a little bit, we're going through this very, very powerful reset energy, the 0 point, people going back into the 0 state, becoming nobodies. You know, when everything is recycled, all the old kind of value systems become insignificant because they were just based on the mind of someone, the mind of a big man. When those value systems starts to become more and more insignificant in our lives, you know, then what are we? You know, it's the 0 point. We won't know exactly. We won't be able to describe ourselves using words. And so I feel like feelings are becoming more important, being aware of the feelings, the vibes. I'm hearing the truth, the truth. Anything else? I'm also really noticing the snakes in the 7 of Cups there for some reason. Let's see if we can get some more on that. Okay. So 2 of Cups underneath the deck, and then the World. So definitely this time is going to go, or this time is going to create a lot of powerful changes within relationships. Again, it may feel, if you're going through this, if you're very, like I said, connected to the earth, and you're starting to go through this now, but you are surrounded with other people that may not be that connected to earth at this point in time. You know, they may live more in the mind or in the matrix still. Then you going through these changes, you starting to kind of take off all of your clothes, all of your hats, you know, and just stepping into that 0 point energy is going to really kind of almost send shockwaves into them as well, like through these bonds within your relationships. And it is going to push them into change as well. And so that is, I think, maybe challenging a little bit for us. Yeah, 6 of Fire or 6 of Wands in reverse, and then 8 of Tides in the upright. 8 of Cups, definitely a card of walking your own way, starting to find yourself. Again, becoming more undefinable by other people. And with the 6 of Wands in reverse, it's like, I feel like you no longer care about winning. Maybe in the past you would have cared about, you know, how people saw you, or you wanted an applause, or you wanted, you know, people to be like, yeah, great job. But now I feel like it's like your inner calling is just getting stronger and stronger, and you're starting to be more okay with people not necessarily understanding you straight away, because you're realizing it's like you're building something. It may take some time before it really starts taking form. You're building something. It's like you're building yourself, your new worth. Like your earth, you know, I feel like she's like the earth. She's the abundance. So don't let other people's minds kind of own you here and bond you and limit you and take your voice away essentially. And by that, I don't necessarily mean that we have to battle people or like go into this trying to convince people or all that kind of thing. To me, that just feels like a waste of energy. Unless we're really kind of trapped, like physically trapped within those circumstances. I feel like it's maybe better to influence people in a spiritual way. You know, doing that spiritual work over time is kind of gonna soften people. It's gonna open people up. You know, synchronicity is going to come into play. They are going to be introduced to things that will help them to expand their mind in the right time, at the right place. And this change can happen more gently. So that is definitely possible as well. I'm also feeling that some of you may not even believe, you know, in the spiritual work. And if that's the case, I would definitely say start to experiment more. Like, start to test it out for yourself. You're never going to believe it unless you have personal experience with it and actually see for yourself if it works or not. So definitely don't be afraid to experiment as well at this point in time. Go into nature and experiment. That's what I'm feeling for some of you. Anything else? I feel just to pull one final card here. And some of you may be surrounded by people that they are just trying to shut you down energetically. Yeah. The card that wanted to come out there was the Fool, but then it went back into the deck. Yeah. A lot of you might really be actually desiring relationships that are different than what you've had up to this point in time, because this here with the Strength and the Six of Cups, because I feel that some of you, you're dealing with people that they are just trying to shut you down with their energy. They're not even giving you, like, they're not even entertaining your perspective is what I'm feeling. They're just very, very rigid and like a gray blanket. And it's like, to them, you are this fool. And so if that's the case, I definitely feel like just walk away from it energetically. Again, this doesn't have to be a big thing in the physical, you know, just start to remove your energy from that person. Like I said, start to become aware of these areas of bondage within yourself. Where are you dimming your life? Dimming your life? Wow. I was gonna say dimming your light, but yeah, it's true. We are dimming our lives as well. You know, we are making ourselves small and holding ourselves back because essentially we are under bondage, you know, someone else's mind has kind of taken our fire out. It's not the time for that anymore. That's what I'm feeling. It's time to start to speak up. And again, doesn't mean to defend yourself when it comes to these people. It may be actually beneficial to build your strength in silence first, you know. Start doing other things. Start trying to find another type of community away from the people that may be kind of putting all of this dark and dense energy onto you. Social media, I feel, can be huge at this point in time, just in terms of actually connecting to new types of people, finding new types of community, because it's definitely here. Like, there are a bunch of people that are ready to just be newborn again and just experiment and see what comes out without judgment, you know, just through play. We're just going to experiment. We're going to let our hearts open and then just see, who are we? What feels comfortable? What doesn't? You know, it's like opening up, giving ourselves the freedom to be more real. I think that that's huge for this time. And I really think that, yeah, give yourself some space, you know, to explore away from the people that are just gonna kind of hold you down and take your voice away with their narrow-mindedness. You know, these are not your people at this point in time. They're just not there yet. And so trust yourself. After all, you know, this is a time where we will start to see more and more truth within ourselves. We will start to feel things more and more clearly. things will become clear, but it may also be overwhelming right now. But just take it slow, give yourself space, and I think that you're gonna start to really build your abundance. That's what I'm feeling. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.